I maybe have an impertinent question, but would you grace us with your final reading anyway?
Yes.
Yes. Can I? So I am Gray. I'm actually a part that was exiled for the longest time from my system because I'm the angry part, the suicidal part, the part that carries a lot of the trauma, and my parts, my other headmates, made a decision to thrive. They had to lock me up, and I'm so happy they did because I was extremely suicidal, and I just couldn't imagine life getting better. Like, I just couldn't believe I will have this life. Like, it's like, I still cannot believe it, but they put me away for a long time. And because of it, they educated themselves. They went to university. They became therapists, and they started making money. And I don't know how exactly they did it, but eventually they brought me back, and they told me this life without me would not be bearable for them because I made a huge sacrifice to stay in with all the trauma until they thrive. And they asked me to help them with this book because a lot of the story didn't make sense to them because I helped them. So I wrote a lot of it. So this part that I'm gonna read it's about when I was 14 years old, and my stepfather used to make a lot of passes at me, and he was really unsafe at home, and I had to figure out a creative way to keep him away. So this is about that. One night, while I was studying on the floor of my room, using my bed as a desk, he came in and sat down behind me on the floor. "I've been listening to your phone calls to that scrawny boy," he said. His breath smelled like death. My finger felt the sharp tip of my pen I was writing with. Put it in his neck. Then I felt him come closer. His whole body was now pressed to mine. I could feel his hard penis against my back. "Don't think you're slick," he whispered. "I know everything you do with that boy. Do you think I raised you so that he could have you?" I felt the pen in my hand again. I really want to use it, but the force outside of me kept me from turning around. I also noticed a presence. From over to my left, I turned and I saw my mother standing in the doorway. She didn't say anything. She just turned and walked away. Gradually, my stepfather got up and left too. The next day, she said at breakfast table, "You're almost 14, Atash. It's time for you to think about marriage. I'm going to start asking around for eligible suitors." That night in bed, I noticed how bad I smelled. It was after 10, but I really couldn't stand the odor of my body. On my way to the shower, I heard my stepfather also complaining to my mother about how filthy I had become. That put a smile on my face. I turned around and went back to bed without washing. Gradually, I stopped brushing my teeth as well. When my stepfather came near, it gave me great pleasure to think about how awful my mouth smelled. My mother noticed my deteriorating hygiene too. "You are an embarrassment for our family," she wailed. "Who likes filthy girl?" And I giggled and said, "No one, Mommy, no one." Once she tricked me into going to hammam, one of those open public baths that exist throughout the Middle East. She told me we were going shoe shopping, but then insisted that first we had to stop at this gruesome stop in Catalan. We went into a miserable stone building whose hallway was dark and damp. Behind the dark, I saw skinny old ladies. I had heard from other kids at school that these women were known for aggressive way they scrub girls. My mother paid a few of these hags to clean me. "Good luck," she told them as she left me in their care. Well, We will make her shine like glass. One of them with missing tooth promised. They took me into a steam room and asked me to take off my clothes and lie down on the slab to be washed and scrubbed. I'm not taking off a thing, I told them. They surrounded me and began to strip me by force. I struggled, but eventually they won. As my clothes came off and the smell of my body filled the ancient stone room, they began to gag. But they didn't stop. One held me down while the other pushed shampoo into my thick hair. For a moment, the citrus smell made me remember something from a happy time, but I pushed that thought away and kept fighting. They dodged my punches and went on, now conditioning and untangling my hair. I started to feel myself drifting, and my body relaxed. When I came back into my body, I heard them talking about me as though I weren't in the room. I couldn't see them through the fog of the hammam, but I heard their voices say, "She's a beautiful girl." Yes, though it was hard to tell at first with all that dirt. What would make a young girl want to be filthy? That got my attention. I've never heard anyone ask why I did the things I did. Even now, sometimes when I realize it's been days since I have taken a shower, I have to ask myself, why am I doing this? What am I trying to keep away? I began to cry and cried and cried till I had no more water in my body and they had finished. Then one of the ladies took my shin, raised it, and said, "Don't be sad. You're young and have the rest of your life ahead of you. You never know what the future will bring."
On that note, I do want to ask one more question. Richard.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things in the world right now is to go to spas.
True story. I just wanted to quickly ask, because you never know what the future will bring. At the end of this amazing story, we're left at a real cliffhanger of a moment. My question is, are you working on another memoir that picks up where this left off?
Of course.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure everyone knew that. Okay.
I just want to say, okay, I want to see what this book do first, of course, but I cannot wait because I'm alive, so I'm going to keep writing, and I love writing, and that's how I process all my feelings. So I'm almost finished with the book too. But the book too is about being in America and US and homeless and undocumented and trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. But again, I'm multiple, so I will figure it out.